Hello everyone and welcome back to Alex at the desk. Yes, hello everyone and welcome back to the desk. We're here for another episode in this festive season, and up here I have what I'm going to be working on today. So, as the title suggests, it's a Sam's Trains 3D printed van. I think it's an S&DJR road van, and I've had this for quite a long time. It's been in the background of many of my desk-related videos, and it's finally time to actually get down to sort of making it look a bit better. So it's got kind of like a rather rough roof, so I'm going to attempt to sand that down a bit with, I've got some weird attachment on my rotary tool. And then I'm going to spray paint it, which I'll do outside because I got in trouble for spray painting inside the last time because of the smell. So always make sure you do your spray painting in a well-ventilated area. And yeah, so I'm going to spray paint that and then paint over that. And I've got the accessories to fit as well. So I will have to mask off the bottom, I think. Oh no, I should be able to unscrew those screws. But first of all, I'm going to attempt to take this off, so I'll change the camera around and we can have a look. So this is the van in question, and it's a 3D printed plastic wagon of a van. And that's pretty much what I could say about it, really. It was the Sam's Trains members exclusive wagon, I think, and you know, the detail's not bad on it. I just haven't really got round to do anything with it, so I'm going to attempt to get this looking good. Well, looking better. So I'm going to grab my rotary tool and we're going to see if we can smooth out the roof a bit without ruining it too much. We don't want there to be too much dust, so I've put down some newspaper. I don't know if this is actually going to make it work or not, but there, a little bit smoother in places. We'll work on the next phase of that now. So the next step is to take a bit of newspaper, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a straight line on there, like that. And I'm going to cut along there, like that, just so we get the words off. So I'm doing that off camera, but we can then work out exactly where that's going to go. So what we'll do is I'll get a bit of blue tack. I just need a tiny piece just to put on there. You can see that that's going to go on like that along that edge. It would stay put. Right, that's along that edge, and then we can cut it along this edge. So obviously, if we rub that along there like that, we know we can cut along that line. Like that. I can do the same thing at the other end. And we just need to tidy it up a little bit more. Do is take that back off. And there's a little bit of a fold line along the edge of there, so if I cut along that, And that should be perfect now to fit on the space that I want now. Off the blue tack and get a bit of glue. So I'm just going to paint the glue now onto the roof of the wagon. Never mind the bits of grass because they're going to be covered up. Make sure we get all the way to the edge because we want a nice good fix. Like that, and then we can take our square or rectangle of that and attach it. Just want to make sure I've got glue all the way along. Just wipe off any excess on the outer edges. There we go. And then we can put on our roof. Should be a bit there. Maybe it's a slight bit too wide, but we can kind of... Oh no, it's torn. That's torn it. Right, I'll get a replacement piece of newspaper. Right, just add a bit more glue onto that. Yeah. We actually stuck the other piece to this one to make it a bit thicker. Less likely to tear. There we go. Now that should look good. I don't know if I can trim the excess off of that end. That should do it now. What we do is we're going to leave that to dry and then we can spray paint it. So before we spray paint it, we're going to actually remove the axles because I want to take off the chassis. So we'll put those in our handy box over there in the background, and we can unscrew the screws in the bottom of the van. There we are. That'll make it easier to paint, at least anyways. Right, so as I said, it's now time to take this outside and give it a spray. Once again, using the 151 spray. Just need to mix it. So there we have the spray painted van, and it's looking pretty neat and tidy now. And so I'm going to paint this, and then I'm going to attach it back to the chassis. But what I'll do is I might add the detail onto the chassis and then attach the body. I don't know which order I'll actually do it in. So we're going to stick that there a sec and decide what colour to paint it in. I'm probably going to paint it into the same grey I did the egg vans and the ale van in, or whatever, which is this. This is the matte 78, I think, or something, 79. that I used the other day to do the Era 1 wagons. Somewhere here I have a paintbrush that's not tangled up in Christmas lights. So the idea here is just to take the van and paint it up into dark grey. So we've already got the primer on, should hopefully cover up sort of any of the brown, and then hopefully this paint will not hide too much of the detailing, like the rivets and things and stuff, but might hide some of the grainy texture of the 3D printing. But either way, it's not too noticeable. This is probably of an earlier age of Sam's Train's wagon printing than we're now used to. So he's made a lot of improvements over the years, and so the one that you buy now might be slightly different to this one. But overall, I think it's not a bad wagon. Like, it's a nice representation, and since you're kind of used to, if you're used to working with 3D products or 3D printed products, you'll know what I mean about the textures of the material. There we are. We have the first side there pretty much done up. We'll get the underside of the roof with a wipe of dark grey there, and I'll get on and do the rest of it. Now, actually in two minds, about whether to paint over the roof, because actually I think with the contrast now of the darker grey, I don't think it looks too bad. So I think I'll actually leave it as it is. So what I'll do is I'll pop that over to one side there, and we can work on fitting the detail to the wagon. That's that there. So we've got brake rigging and buffers to attach to the wagon. So we can just tip those out there. So I've got a tube of super glue, which I'm going to open now. So we've got glue. Obviously, I'm quite good with the old glue. So I want to make sure that we're getting these parts in the right place. So you've got a slightly wider tooth on the bottom of one of these pieces, and that goes into the slightly larger hole. So this is actually going to fit in like so on that side, and the other one likewise will fit in on this side like so. So what we have to do is put some super glue where the holes are, I'd say, and then I won't be dangling it. First of all, we need to open the tube of glue. That's the very first thing we need to do before I cover myself in glue. Right, so that's open now, I think. And we can open that. Yeah, I can see it now. So a bit of glue, bit of glue, bit of glue, bit of glue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we put the lid back on the glue so I don't spill it everywhere. And then we can add in the brake rigging. So this one goes into this part here. And what did I do with the other one? Ah, there it is. That one goes in like so on the other side. Although that one actually says to be bent or something, it's not. The second half it's not going in the hole. There we go. Just needed a bit of gentle persuasion. So those brake rigging are going to glue, and then we can go and open our glue again. And glue in the buffers. So you're supposed to test fit whether these work first, but I'm hoping that that won't be necessary, because I'd like to get this put together in one shoot and not be messing around for ages. Right. It probably would have been a good idea not to rest my finger on the buffer beam, because I've already got glue on my finger now. It'll come off. Try and get the buffers in. Can't even pick them up. I've dropped 2 on the floor so far. It's impressive considering they're in the middle of the desk. There you go, that's 2. That's 3. And now I'll just pick up one of the... Well, I'll pick both, I suppose, but... you usually get 5 buffers in a Sam's Trains kit. So you don't have to worry if you accidentally break one of the buffers fitting it, or if it gets bashed off somewhere or lost. So a bit glue to that one, because I think the glue that I put on that one is stuck to my finger now. So we've got those on, and now we can look at adding the brake rodding, or rather the brake handle. And these are very fine pieces, and they have little pegs on them that go in the holes. So I think that goes on like that. Or maybe it's the other way around. Yeah, maybe it's that way around. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a spot of glue on there and one on there. Get my pliers. Pick up this piece for me because it's easier to do it that way. And drop it again. And then I'm going to it's that end in there and the other end in above, but the pliers won't open. There we go. Ah, did it. Right. Do it again on the other side. Oh, my fingers are already starting to stick together though. A good way of knowing which way they go in, which is that the end that has a flat end, that goes at the top, and the more rounded end goes at the bottom into the hole in the hanging V. And there we are. So now we just have to wait for all those to dry, and then we can assemble them. Right, well, the glue has set very white on the chassis, but I don't think it'll be too noticeable. I'll just tone it down in future, I think. I'm not going to bother attempting to do it now. The glue is obviously just, used to doing that. I know you can rub Vaseline on coach windows when it does that, and it's supposed to stop it, but and it's really weird that the area around the actual joints where they're plugged in aren't white. It's just the areas outside of it, but it's all right. I'll paint it black some other time. So now it's time to reassemble the wagon. So we're just going to pop the chassis back on, and I'll find my Phillips screwdriver. And there was another screw here. It's nice that all these screws that you get from Sam's Train seem to be very magnetic, because I don't think my screwdriver is magnetic. But it sticks to it anyways, right? So then we're going to add back in the axles and pop that one in there, that one in to place. If I can find the hole. There's one. And there we go, 2. 3 and 4. There we go. And no trouble with the brake gear getting in the way. And then the buffers will probably need painting as well at some point, because there's a little bit white on the end. We just have to add in the couplings now, like so. Fiddly thing. How come we wouldn't find the other side? There we go. And there we have it. The finished van. And obviously in future I have the option of putting this into an actual, so I'll get the focus right, an actual livery, getting some lettering or something for it. But it's actually usable on my railway now. It doesn't just look like a brown liney blob. It's usable. It'll blend in until I decide what livery I want to use on it. And you can see the roof there. I think it looks alright. I think it looks reasonably realistic. It's a different shade as well of grey, so that's nice. So yes, I've finally got another one of these objects lying around sorted out for the railway. I'll just give you a quick look of how it looks on the railway. So yes, that's all we've got time for on this episode of Alex at the Desk. I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. The roof looks a lot better, and like I said, there are a few bits that need tidying up where the glue is and stuff on the chassis, but it's not too much of a problem really. I'm not going to notice it. Obviously a livery might be nice on it. I'd love to put LBSC on it for, because of where my railway sort of sit on the south coast. But I don't know, I might come across some sort of BR transfers that were simple enough. We'll just see what I come across in the future. But for now, I think it's ready to enter service. Enter service, sorry. And I think it's going to look good in a tray in the Christmas special. So we'll pop it up there now. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget you can like, comment, share and subscribe. Don't know if I said that already, I probably did at the start. You've been a wonderful audience, and join me again at the desk where I tackle something else I've probably put off for months. But for now, enjoy the festive season, and we'll see you again for the Christmas special. I've been Alex, you've been a wonderful audience, this has been a wonderful desk, it's time to leave. Subscribe bubble and play this thing, I'm off. Too much to do. Ta-ra.